Yo, what's going on with this fucking microphone? I don't know. Yo. No, this is worse. This is okay. All right. So, I was at the B-52 show the other day, and despite being one of the B-52's career climaxing performances, the audio messed it all up. And the reason for that is that the guy who was running the sound was obviously um, trying to inflict harm upon people's hearing. Now, I had both these earplugs that attenuate sound, the industrial quality plugs, and furthermore, I was plugging my ears up as hard as I could. Now, that attenuated the sound a lot, at least like 50, if not 75 or 85%. That was the only way that I could hear what was being played. That's how I could recognize the the grandeur and the majesty of the performance. Now, the guys back there, the lighting guys, they know that I was on to the sound guy. Okay, they'll if they ask, hey, do you remember some guy saying this? The SOB up in front running the sound is a is an enemy of the state who deserves to be imprisoned. They'd say, yeah, we remember the guy. He was right. It was all just way too loud. You couldn't hear anything. Not only that, but he was willingly doing damage to people's hearing, playing at those decibel levels. Okay, you just can't do that to people's hearing when they're unprotected. That was like a jet engine on them for 2 hours. Now I know what goes on between artists and labels. Unfortunately, those artists I was talking about earlier, they're like my mother. You know, my mother is a great writer who deserves to be published, etc., etc. She has some things to say, but that's all she's done all her life is write. She's never had the chance to. Wow, my nose looks funny with this camera. With this camera, yeah, we've been on Mars since the 50s. But she has no business acumen. Same with the B-52s. With a performance of that caliber, they deserve the world stage. But what happens? They delegate the sound and the business to agents who only screw them over. And it's obvious that whoever put that guy in there, they're just trying to bring him down. I mean, this band, we're crying out loud. Their harmonies, their everything is perfect, absolutely perfect. But you could not hear more than 5 or 10% of it because it was too loud. What a disappointment! And I don't fault the B-52s for it. I don't think they know any better. Like my mother, she just doesn't know any better. She needs to put all her trust in somebody else to do everything else but right for her, including wash dishes. My mother does not know how to wash dishes. Not because she doesn't want to, but because she's never had the interest. She's always been busy in her creative, um, pursuits. Same with the B-52s. You can't fault a rock star for being a total dud when it comes to managing and finances. Just like you can't fault a musician for being a total dud with a production side, right? Just think about Rush and Terry Brown. Could Rush by themselves have done what Terry Brown did? No, impossible. They were busy, you know. Of course they were busy. So same with these B-52s. They're awesome. Their production's so-so on the record. Who cares about production anyway? I mean, no, they could have the world's best production if they only talk to a few people. Talk to Rush. I mean, let me ask the B-52s this question: Have you heard counterparts on a 6.1? Well, yeah, we have the technology and we know the records and blah 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 blah, but you have not heard it on the 6.1. Now, really, have you? No. So you don't understand what the digital technology is all about. But Neil and Alex and Getty are very smart people. They can tell you that, yeah, you can do a little better when it comes to recording. Not that your performance isn't great, it is, but you don't have a producer or an engineer to speak of. And worst of all, your sound man is out to destroy you and your career and your fans. This is a very, very serious transgression on the part of whoever put that man there. Do you understand this point? You can be out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars, bringing in fans like you cannot believe, and yet you're failing at it. Your performance, like I'm trying to explain to get across, is one of the best ever. It's like the zenith of your career. But there's only so much that your performance can do against amplified power. Okay? I mean, you can't scream louder than an amplifier, nor should you. You gotta find somebody who looks out for your interests and not doesn't try to destroy them. Maybe you won't find somebody in the classic city. Maybe you have to cross the border. Please go talk to them. Okay? They'll look at they'll look at your stuff and say, "Mother of Jehovah, how could you let this go on for so long? Have you never heard Rush on a digital system? What whom have we been recording for? Dummy fans who only want to hear Tom Sawyer on the radio? Dummies, essentially, or educated musicians? Yes, we have been recording for you, and yet you have shunned us because we don't listen to that kind of music. That's not for sensitive types like us. So, cross the border and get rid of some of those, whatever it is you got, managers or producers or agents or labels. I don't know the whole music industry business like that, so I can't tell you exactly what, but you guys are failing miserably. And yes, it's taking a toll on your bank accounts. I hope to see you someday in better spirits. Hit it, boys!